12 more people were detained early on Wednesday in an Adıyaman-based operation related to an ongoing investigation into alleged cheating on the centralized state personnel examination, KPSS, administered in 2010. According to reports, the suspects, some of whom were in Şanlıurfa and Van, were detained in their homes during the operation conducted by the Adıyaman Police Department's Anti-Smuggling and Organized Crime Unit. According to the Doğan news agency, teachers whose initials are FD and AS were taken into custody in Bozova district of Şanlıurfa province where they were working. Other teachers as well as pregnant women were among those who were detained. The suspects were taken to the Adıyaman Security Directorate following health screenings at a nearby hospital and are expected to be referred to court after giving their testimony. In the third wave of the operation against those believed to be involved in the alleged cheating scandal launched by the Ankara prosecutor's office, detention orders were issued for yet another 44 people. 5 of those detained on Tuesday were women, with some of them pregnant or nursing mothers. A nursing mother who was among those detained in the third wave of the operation, which was later cancelled, was released on Wednesday. 28 of the suspects have so far been detained, while the police search for the remaining 16. In the first 2 waves of the operation, 54 people were arrested without any solid evidence. The case was initially opened in 2010 after more than 3,227 people answered most or all of the questions on the KPSS correctly, leading to claims that some of the candidates had either cheated during the exam or obtained the questions beforehand. The 2010 investigation revealed that some of the most successful candidates were either friends living in the same house or were married to each other. Claims also emerged that copies of the KPSS questions had been obtained before the day of the exam and shared among thousands of candidates. It is noteworthy that Ankara prosecutor Yücel Erkmen, who is in charge of the operation, has not yet taken the statements of the educators whom he had detained as part of the investigation. In the first 2 waves of the operation, Erkmen had the suspects arrested without first obtaining their testimony. The prosecutor also raised an objection against the court's release of some of the suspects detained in the second wave of the operation. Erkmen, who as part of the operation issued detention orders even for women expecting a baby and nursing mothers, referred the suspects seized in various cities for arrest. The suspects who were taken to hospital for a health screening were handcuffed. Teachers in custody were, particularly in the Anti-Smuggling and Organized Crime Unit, badly treated and exposed to psychological pressure. They were forced to confess and pregnant teachers were told they should dismiss their lawyers. The investigation has been revived after 5 years amid complaints from the opposition that the government is using the operations to further its own agenda. The KPSS investigation is seen by many as an aspect of the government's efforts to portray the Gülen movement, inspired by the views of Turkish Islamic scholar Fethullah Gülen, as a terrorist organization. President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, who was prime minister until his election as president last August, accuses the Gülen movement of instigating the infamous corruption probes involving then ministers in his government that went public on December 17 and 25, 2013. Educator detained despite his wife's critical health condition. As part the government orchestrated investigation into alleged cheating in the centralized state personnel examination, KPSS, in 2010, educator Ömer Frnc has been detained despite the fact that his wife is currently hospitalized and in a coma. Public prosecutor Yücel Erkmen, who previously gave instructions to detain a 9 months pregnant woman during the investigation, told the police to detain Frnc regardless of Frnc's request for an alternative hearing in light of the unofficial report he provided proving that his wife is in a coma at a hospital, as she has been for the past 4 months. The lawyer who represents Frnc said, "There is no one else except my client to look after his wife. He even spends nights beside his wife without sleep. He also has 3 children in need of care at home." Arguing that a more convenient option should be provided for his client, the lawyer added, "Under such conditions, my client cannot even find time for his personal affairs, let alone the possibility of running away from the investigation." Other incidents have sparked reaction during the latest part of the KPSS investigation. In the Ankara Police Department, where the suspects of alleged cheating were transferred, men and women were held in custody together, leading lawyers to object and request that their clients be held separately. During interrogation, one woman fainted and was later taken to a hospital. After a brief medical exam, the woman was transferred back to the police department. Detainees were also asked irrelevant questions, such as, "Are you in contact with Islamic scholar Fethullah Gulen? Did you stay in the Gulen movement's houses or dormitories?" Such questions are often asked as part of a large number of recent government-orchestrated investigations, since the Gulen movement, also known as the Hizmet movement, became a target of the government after graft probes revealed in December 2013 implicated senior government officials. The government has accused the movement of using the corruption investigations as part of an effort to overthrow it. The movement has denied the allegation.